involved in a lot of political campaigns. When you're involved in a political campaign, you have to make a lot of phone calls. You have to go to a lot of doors, knock on them, present yourself in a good manner, present your candidate in a good manner, present your party in a good manner. But what I noticed working in all different levels, from a grassroots campaign all the way up to Organizing for America, which was Obama's campaign arm, the more sophisticated the campaign, the fewer houses we actually went to. For example, on a cul-de-sac of 10 houses, we might only hit 2. What I gleaned from that is the more sophisticated a campaign, the better they can target particular individuals with what they want to present to that particular person. Whether it's going to particular houses or handing out particular campaign literature depending on demographic information, or perhaps if they know that person based on previous experience. There's been a lot of talk about personal, private data being out there either on Google, Facebook, or with the NSA snooping around. And one of the reasons why I think this might be important to you is that if you're a registered voter, there's a lot of information out there about yourself. And whether you feel that this is invasive, fascinating, or, let's be real, probably pretty boring, you have a right to know about how your information is being used. And with that, we'll start the PowerPoint portion of this presentation. The title of it is Political Campaign Data Mining, or Why is My Personal Data All Across the Internet? We're going to start with a quick introductory terms, and while this is warming up, I want to ask you guys, what do you think data mining, what does data mining mean to you? Feel free to raise your hand. Charlotte Miller.
Getting statistics from various datasets.
Statistics? Mudasa?
Yeah, very much similar to statistics. So it's about, I mean, nowadays people have lots, especially companies, retail companies, they have lots of data. So they would like to glean information from that data. They're sitting on a lot of data. And if they can use the data to find some kind of information, the process of doing that, taking the data, cleaning it, and then getting some kind of usable information from it is data mining.
So taking that dirty data, cleaning it up, finding trends so you can
Exactly.
have actionable things.
And that can help you take decisions, predictive analytics, that's what they say.
Very good. Jim, do you have any?
Kind of what he said, yeah, you used the term, you're trying to glean information from a large collection of data in order to answer a question or solve some problem.
Exactly. I couldn't have said it better myself. So we'll move on to a little harder one, which is, what is open source? What does open source mean? Mudasa.
Open source is something which is not, I'm not sure if the term is correct, but it's not patented. There's no license to use it. So it's something which anyone can use, work on it, release a better version of it. So in the world of software, open source is something which you download, recode it, and again release it.
Yeah.
But I guess in any other industry also, it should mean very similar to this.
Yes. Anybody else?
Yeah, patented or proprietary is the word.
Exactly. Proprietary.
So open source, that's a perfectly good definition. I just say it's out there in the public, it's public use, kind of, to go along with that. And most government information is public knowledge. Your voter registration card, anything that's on there, that is public knowledge. Vehicle registration, if you pay taxes on it, that's also public knowledge, along with land or house deeds and the associated valuation, how much does it cost, so on and so forth. There are private sources as well. Facebook, any information that you put out there is proprietary to Facebook, but in many times it's public domain. Anybody can search it. Same thing with LinkedIn or newspaper articles that anybody can search anywhere on the web. Now I'm going to go on to voter registration data in particular. I mentioned the voter registration card, but I want to talk about what exactly is on there. It's a lot of information. This is mine. It has my full name, my address, my political party affiliation, I'm unaffiliated, race, ethnicity, gender, and all these things down here are basically to give people more information about where you might be voting. In my instance, I'm voting in Congressional District 9, so if I was a candidate running for that congressional district, I would want to pick up that information. It also says which elections you've been in. In this instance, this was this most current election. I voted in person. The previous election last year, it says that I voted absentee one stop. That means I early voted. Doesn't mean that I filled out an absentee ballot. And then for the primary of that year, I voted in the Republican primary, and I voted again, early vote. Just to show you how available that information is, if you do a quick search for Mecklenburg Board of Elections, Mecklenburg BOE, you can very quickly go to that website, go to the top data, and then if you click on voter data file, I'll click on it right now, and it'll download by the end of this speech. It's about 60 megabytes, and it contains about 647,000 pieces of individual data of voters who are in Mecklenburg County. Just to show you how easy that is, I have a terminal window open here, and I can quickly search it for my name. Boom, that's all the information. It's delimited a little oddly. Or I can search for Jim, our Toastmaster. There's his party affiliation, address, etc. It's a lot of information, so if you're registered to vote, this is public knowledge. Anybody can get it. Now I'm going to go down to the precinct level. Usually when political campaigns look at this kind of thing, they don't look at the individual. They think about it in terms of precincts, which are groups of voters in specific geographical locations. In this instance, both Jim and I are in precinct 240 up here in North Mecklenburg. And there's a lot of information that we can glean from that particular precinct. We can get a lot of demographics just by searching that particular term in the front of the data. There are about 5,500 total voters. It's majority Republican, minority Democrat, and there's about 30% unaffiliated voters. It's slightly majority female, although it's still about half and half. It's over 90% white with ethnicity. There are several other ways to break this down by age, so on and so forth. So say you were running in the 2013 election and you want to win that election and you're a Republican. What do? Well, you can estimate the voter turnout is generally about 18 to 20%, and you need to win half of those plus one. So you need to get 496 votes total. Now, how much is this going to cost you for just this one precinct? Well, you need to knock on about 600 doors 3 times to assure majority victory. And you can estimate that a single person could knock on 10 doors per hour, and that they would be paid $10 per hour. So this would be about $1,800 to win that particular precinct. What does this precinct look like as far as mapping goes? Where are the most voters? Well, you can pull up on mapalist.com all that data that I just mentioned. Jim's address, my address, all the other 5,500 people who are in that particular precinct. And I've color-coded them by Democrat for blue, red for Republican, and gray for unaffiliated. And another way we can do this is just to go in a little deeper. This is in the northern part. And we can see that there's a little neighborhood right here. Again, if I was a Republican running in this precinct, this would be a good neighborhood. There's a lot of red. So let's go in a little further to this particular section. And there's the street level of where every registered voter is in that particular sector of the precinct. So you could take this information, take the addresses, take the names, and knock on each of those doors and ask for their votes if you were the candidate or if you were working for that candidate.